Hey everybody, Kneecap here. This video is going to be about heroic trials of valor, and specifically heroic Odyn. My guild, by no means are we gangbusters or anything like that, but we do have, we're about 10 to 14 man raiding guild, mostly just because we can't get people to sign on. We are a little bit casual, and that is also why we don't require people to give up their real life to raid. So we usually raid with 10 to 14, although we have well more than 20 geared members to do Mythic. So we're basically a heroic raiding guild. And we clear Heroic Emerald Nightmare in about an hour. We clear normal Trials of Valor in less than that. But what we can't do is we can't kill Heroic Odyn. And there's multiple reasons for that. This fight is not tuned correctly. I would be interested if any of you have cleared Heroic Odyn with 14 or less people to kind of give me any hints on how to do that. But as of right now, we can't find any instances of anyone being able to do it, and we certainly cannot do it. We're not like a mythic raiding guild, so we're geared for it, but we're not over geared for it, I guess you could say. So basically, let me kind of talk about what's going on here. So the fight is whether you have 10 people or 30 people, the Rune Bears are going to come out, and there's always going to be 5 of them. Now, if you only have 10 people, that's half your raid, and the tanks can't get it. So let's say you have 10 people, 5 out of the 8, and if you're 2 healing it, it's very high chance that one of your healers is going to get it. Even if you were 3 healing it, because it's not a DPS race, there's still a fairly high chance that all 3 of your healers are going to get it. So now the DPS have to help the healers, especially on heroic, kill the Rune Bearer to do it properly and quickly. Also, so you can get people stacked up for the Shield of Light ability. And you basically have no DPS on Himdall Herja or during phase 2 on Odyn himself during the runes, which makes the fight take extremely long. Now I was looking at the top guilds, mythic guilds, or the people that do heroic with more than 20 people, and they're doing this fight in 10 minutes or less, or right around there. We are like halfway through phase 2 at 10 minutes, and all of our DPS over 400k? No, but most of it is over 300k, and some of it is over 400k on a normal fight. But we can't seem to, since you can't target Odyn, we're having a lot of trouble pushing this through. And that's just one of the problems. So phase 2 is taking way too long, basically. So it's more opportunity for Himdall and Herja to keep coming out, more opportunity for someone to mess up. And we've gotten very close to pushing to phase 3, but we actually haven't gotten to phase 3 yet. So everything I've learned from phase 3 is from research and looking it up. Now in phase 3, based on everything I know, there's always going to be 4, I think, tornado buffs, debuffs going out at all times. So in a 30-man raid, that's not a big deal. 4 people go run your tornadoes out. In a 10-man raid, it is a big deal. Again, can't be the tanks, so half your raid is going to be constantly running a tornado out, which means they aren't DPSing. I saw specifically there's a warlock who normally does about 390, 400k, so 90 parse, 90% parse ish, and on phase 3 he was doing 26,000 DPS is all, because he had tornado basically every single second of the fight, because he was trying to do it with I think 10 people. I guess some mythic people tried to do it with like some really like glitchy groups, like a bunch of paladins, so they had bubble and they couldn't get it down either. It's crazy, and the fight is not tuned correctly, and I'm hoping Blizzard does something about it, or else it's going to kill small raiding guilds. On our server, we have a bunch of guilds that cleared Heroic Emerald Nightmare, at least 30 plus guilds, not just random people, but 30 plus guilds that cleared Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Now we're recruiting, we're always recruiting, trying to get more people, so maybe we could do Mythic. And I'm always recruiting against these people, so I see them spamming their macros or whatever. And The thing I noticed was, at first I was like, well, do we just suck? We can't kill heroic Odin. Well, none of them have anything down in heroic TOV because they're all kind of the same size as us. So obviously, the common sense thing to say is, well, why don't you guys do a merger with a guild? Well, if a guild wanted to join us, we would allow that, but we're not really looking to disband our guild to join someone else's guild and someone else's leadership. So that's something that we're not really into right now. Although it could be an option down the line, especially if they don't fix it. And Nighthold is also like this. So basically, if anybody who's watching this, if you kind of talk out about this a little bit, there is some forum posts about it. I believe Blizzard is aware of it, and the WoW dev team is aware of it. But this is definitely going to kill small raiding guilds. I understand that they've said stuff that they don't want it to be too easy on 10-man because then people can get like world first on it easier. Like a mythic guild kind of can just put their 10 best players in and go kill it the first day or first hour or whatever. But I'm not asking for it to be too easy. I'm just asking for it to be a little bit more scaled. So either you're going to have to lower the damage to where you can kind of sustain a 20+ minute fight for the first boss in Trials of Valor. Or you're going to have to just lower the amount of rune bearers based upon your raid size and the tornadoes based upon your raid size. Those are your options. So you either have to make the damage almost negligible, so that way it's possible to do a 30-minute raid fight, which is just ridiculous, or you can lower the breakpoints, which they have said they don't want to do. They might just need to make an exception. But yeah, that's kind of my gripe right now, where we're at as a guild. We're just kind of stuck. Can't do heroic Odin, so we can't even attempt heroic Warm and see if our DPS is up to check on that. So that's about it for this video, guys. Thumbs up and sub, and everyone have a good one.